I don't have a fade button on here. No fade. Just got to stop it right away like that.
What the hell's that all about?
I don't know, man. Just it's all we have here at Lila Studios. Just on and off. No fade. It's a great intro, though.
Well, I'm always on, baby. I give it to you straight, no chaser.
You've always used that song, right? That's always been your intro song.
Yeah, absolutely. We got Von Lyles in the DJ booth. He was nice enough to give me some strippers on my birthday. Too bad they were all guys.
I thought that's what you wanted. That's my fault, man.
I must be emitting the wrong vibe.
Shit, I'm going to put on some glasses to read these comments in here.
I think they're all saying the same thing, and I appreciate everybody tuning in. Eugene Behind the Scenes live on Eugene's birthday. Exciting time. 49 years old today. Kayfabe that though. Kayfabe that like the bald spot.
Good thing nobody watches this show.
All 7 people are excited.
Hey, we're up to 19 already. So you're 49, huh? That's true, right? 49?
The Wikipedia says so.
Ah. Man, I got you by 2 years, man. 2 years.
Well, I used to lie about my age and say I was born in 77 instead of 75, so that'd make me 47, but Wikipedia stooged me off once it came out.
Let me ask you this. What was the point of lying by 2 years? That doesn't seem like much of an advantage.
Back when I was 26, it was easier to say I was 24 than like 22. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but I just don't know what 2 years gets you. It's not like, I don't know.
In some places, it gets you 20 years.
Man, look at this chat. We got the chat room filled up. Hey, tonight we are accepting super chats. Isn't that right, Eugene? Eugene's birthday super chats, right?
Birthday super chats. Eugene will do a shot of vodka with the birthday super chat, allegedly.
All right. All right. Hey, tell us about, you just got back in the States, man. Tell us about your trip.
Yeah, man. I don't know if the fans would want to, we could do a whole video on my 2-month Eugene Euro tour. I was all over Europe. I was in Germany. I was in Denmark. I was in Ireland. I was all over the UK and in Wales and England and Scotland and Northern Ireland. I can't remember which one is in the UK and which one is not. So please forgive me, all my Irish fans. But I was in both Belfast and Dublin, so I was in both places.
Hey, we're gonna get right back to that, but we got an interruption here. We got a $10 super chat for Eugene's birthday.
All right.
From Brent Amania 89 says, huge fan of Eugene's character. I've met you at Heroes and Legends Pro Wrestling in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and that was definitely a bucket list item. Happy birthday.
Well, thank you very much, my good friend Brent Amania. I remember the Heroes and Legends there in Fort Wayne, Indiana. It was a great time. I wrestled a good show and got to meet a lot of people.
What's up by my neck of the woods, Fort Wayne? Thanks a lot, Brent. Amania.
Brent Amania, thank you very much for the super chat. We appreciate it.
You're the man. Happy birthday, Eugene. Hey, I don't know if you remember this or not, but when you were in Europe and doing all that stuff, I said, we got to get some footage of all these places you're going and wrestling and all that stuff, and we could do a video on it. And then you kayfabe the whole thing, and now you come on here tonight and say, man, we should do a video on all that.
Well, I do have some videos. And I have a lot of pictures. I saw a lot of places, so we can definitely put it all together. But I thought it might be better to have a video after the trip so we can put it all together as opposed to short little snippets of each little place that I visited. I might be able to explain it. It might be better for an entire video.
Got it. I like it. So what do you do? What does Eugene do on his birthday?
All right, hold on. I've been invaded. I've been invaded by my mother and Tom giving me a happy birthday cake here. Well, thank you very much. Hold on, let me blow it out. It's probably trick candles.
All right. That's awesome. Doesn't get better than that right there.
Okay.
Thank you, Mrs. Eugene.
It's my Mama Eugene.
Mama Eugene. There we go.
My baby boy. You should go and get a face in it.
49, baby boy.
Well, you know, when you're the baby, you're the baby. And it's a party, so there's nothing wrong with just a little bit of sacrament.
No, that's perfect, man.
For all the stooges out there. And for Brentomania, since he did a super chat, just a little bit of the
There we go.
sip. Just a sip.
Every time we get a super chat, Eugene does a little sip of
Liquid courage.
liquid courage, baby. Helps him through these lives. So what does one do on their birthday when you're Eugene? Did you go out all day? Were you on the beach? Were you hanging and banging with Hulk Hogan down at the beach shop or whatever it's called? What do you do?
I was told that I can neither confirm nor deny that I spent the morning and the afternoon with the Hulkster. I can't confirm or deny that, but I spent a little time on the beach, and then my mother, being a lovely senior citizen that she is, took me out for 3:00 dinner at a local restaurant, which was fantastic. And I might go hit the heated pool tonight and just kind of chill out, man. Here, reflect on my thoughts. But what I really wanted to do was be here with all my friends and fans on my YouTube channel and Eugene Behind the Scenes.
Things blowing up, man. Oh, Brentomania is back. Got another super chat.
He's trying to get me drunk, isn't he?
He is. He wants to see you drunk. He heard that I sent you a bunch of male strippers over there, so he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to get in on this." Do you have a Eugene shirt to buy? Get any merch, Eugene?
Well, I don't have any merch, so to speak, but I do have some Eugene t-shirts that I got when the first Eugene t-shirts came out. I have a few left that I've kind of kept to myself. I'm considering selling, but what I do have some Eugene action figures in the box. A couple years ago, a good friend, Dave Hero, I don't know if anybody knows him, he runs the Blizzard Brawl. He came across someone that had from the LJN, what was the company that made them? LJN, I think. Three cases of Eugene action figures in the box, in the cases. So I've got several of those. If you're interested in a Eugene action figure, we might be able to part with the Eugene t-shirt, but I don't know that I've just got a handful of sizes.
Got it. Thanks a lot, Brentomania. Oh, look at this. We got
Hold on now. If
hold on. We got a surprise here.
No, there he is. We can bring you on ours, but you can't get the technology to bring me on yours.
Happy birthday to you. What's going on, Nicholas?
Hi, Rene. This is my good friend, Rene Dupree. Everybody knows Rene, the French phenom.
How old are you, pal?
Hanging and banging, thugging and bugging, limping and pimping.
But I said, how old are you?
Oh, 49, brother.
You don't look a day over 48.
See, that's what I'm telling Long Lilas. If I'd have gone 4 years back lying about my age, it would have been right.
That's right.
Long Lilas, how you doing, pal?
Good, man. How are you?
Well, I'm surviving. Guess what? Me and Nicholas had a debate about global warming the other day. Today in Canada, it's 10 degrees Celsius, which is about, I'd say 50 or 60. There's no snow. It completely melted. And they're predicting it's going to be the warmest winter on record in Canadian history. Oh, and this is after last year where the Atlantic Bay didn't freeze. And my 91-year-old uncle said he has never seen that in his lifetime.
Oh, wow.
So
that
global
gives me hope.
warming is legit.
I've got a huge tour of Canada next month, and that gives me hope that I'm not going to have to bundle up in my Eskimo gear.
Actually, you might not, because right now there's no snow, and I can actually walk around in shorts. But I'm on the East Coast. Canada is the second largest country in the world, so
What's up with the Prime Minister?
Dude, I heard rumors that he's going to resign. I heard that there's some financial, I don't know. There's so much fake news out there and bullshit that I don't know what to believe. But the Canada Post is finally off. They were on strike for nearly 6 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, I think the government ordered them to go back to work so I can finally ship out, because I have stuff I have to ship out too. Cafe de Rene. That's right. Got to promote my website, right there, my YouTube channel. But
Get your shit in.
yeah, I gotta get my shit in, son. Yeah, so yeah, it's crazy out here. My wife's been waiting for documents from her parents, and she couldn't get it because the Canada Post was on strike.
Hey, speaking of politics and conspiracy theories and global warming, we got the main conspiracy.
Oh,
somebody's got to save this show, man. Somebody's got to save this show.
No. I got a beef with you, pal. I've been messaging you on Facebook and you blocked me. I can't fucking message you. We got
big heat, buddy. With Zuckerberg, I worked my last show in Canada. I crossed the border and Facebook pulled my whole account. I have all my career pics. Everything is gone. I had to make a dummy. It's a bang, buddy.
I saw that today when I tried to message you. I saw that today.
Yeah.
The Zuck got you.
Yeah.
Why did that? What happened?
Because I was supposed to be, I don't know, dude. I'm trying to get to anybody to undo it. You know what I mean? But I feel like it's all part of this drone conspiracy. It's all part of the New World Order trying to take me out because they know I was going to be the new ambassador to Canada. Now that we're getting, the bastard son of Castro out of there finally. And finally, you're going to have some real leadership. And it's not the second biggest country. It's going to be the 51st state. That's what's going to happen because I'm not taking any more payday cuts at Casino Niagara when my envelope goes from 250 to 160 based on your exchange rates. So the heat really is not me. The heat's on you, pal.
Seriously.
Hey, let's not get our YouTube channel taken down now.
But Trump put that on his Truth Social that the 51st state, Canada, and the Governor Trudeau, doesn't he know that we're like owned by the British? We're under the British rule.
You still got to put the dead royal family and live under their rule. Like we couldn't come in. The Queen's already dead. We'll come in and invade in 2 seconds, pal. I can hang glide across Niagara Falls.
I don't know, but how is that going to work? Imagine how many years that would take to change all the rules and regulations. It's going to take a little bit longer than 4 years.
You're all going to be drinking Dunkin' Donuts coffee by the end of next year. No more
bullshit. I'm a Tim Hortons guy.
200% tariffs on all Tim Hortons products. That's what it's going to be.
We need to import Tim Hortons without a doubt.
Yeah. But first thing we got to do is say happy birthday to the man himself, Nick Dinsmore, buddy. Happy birthday. Thanks for the invite, Vaughn. And I just got to put both you guys over. I like the upgrade I saw this week, even though I was kicked off Facebook. I was stalking. I see everything, you know what I mean, being part of the deep state. So absolutely, Renee's new stuff looks great. And the stuff you're doing, Nick, is A+ honesty, man. It's captivating. It's, not having to really worry about is the call coming and talking how workers do in the locker room, dude. It's all great content. You guys have absolutely had an awesome year this year in producing some really masterclass stuff all the way around, man.
Appreciate it, man. It's Von Lilas. Von Lilas is the man. When I signed down with Von Lilas Studios, I knew I was going straight to the top.
Yeah, is that loony or a toonie? Is that
that's a loony? And you see that woman? That's the queen. That's the queen.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you know about the queen and the bodies and that she's possibly.
Come on now, don't talk bad about the queen on here. Here's the question.
You're gonna get him kicked off Facebook.
Hold on, I was just in Europe, and every five is not every five's got the Queen's picture on it. Could you imagine being Prince Harry going to a strip club and having to tip a stripper with your grandmother's picture on it?
I mean, we worked in Louisville. Usually, to go to the strip club, your grandma be working there. I mean, that's what. Actually,
7th Street Strip.
Yeah, but were you there? The Al Snow's one of the marriages, his bachelor party, that the night the lights went out in Louisville and we were at the strip club by candlelight. It was like stripping in 1860 all over again. It was quite like those girls still made their money. I can't remember if they had a boom box or somebody was playing piano in the corner, but that was quite a night out at the strip club.
I cannot confirm nor deny that I was there.
I don't think anybody could. You couldn't see anybody if they were sitting next to you. Oh, man.
I got Nick some strippers for tonight, but I got him males. He said he wasn't into that.
That's
I
all
didn't
good,
say I
man.
wasn't into it. I just said you got me males.
Oh, okay. So it was good.
But Rene, I did feel bad.
It was an experience, you know. It's kind of like the dentist. You're not sure if you like it or not until you go.
Okay, so Ben, do I have to get your email somehow if I want you?
I'll request you as my CIA handle on there, buddy. So you'll see me. I'm dressed in hunting garb. So we'll get back online. But yeah, they yanked everything, dude. I felt bad leaving you in the lurch. I wanted to, be there for your comeback, but like I was like, I have no anything right now. So
no, it's because I had a little issue, a little relapse, as they say, and I thought, okay, well, maybe this guy doesn't want any part of me now.
I know that your mind goes that, and I didn't want it to. You know what I mean? Absolutely, and that's why I came here tonight for this AA meeting with all you fuckers here. So I figured,
I'm Rene. I'm an addict.
Hey man, wrestling, spotlight, and gimmicks. It's what we do. Carnies, queers, and addicts, man. But it doesn't mean I don't respect or care about any of you less. And I hope that you know that I'm not the kind of guy that would just be like, fuck that, he fell off the wagon. I don't want to be associated. I really want your health to be foremost. Because people are like, have you seen his new podcast? It looks good. And I'm like, dude, I just want Buddy to be in a good, healthy mental mind state and using his creative abilities to further the business. And that's what you guys are doing. And I hope you stay on that path, dude. And we'll definitely hook up this week, on the outside, because if you need me, bro, I'm there for you always.
I appreciate that. And likewise, man, if you need me, I'm there. Just like I'm here for Nick Eugene Dinsmore on his 49th birthday. It doesn't look a day over 48.
Yeah. I was going to say this just because maybe they'll run in later, dude. Just think about the early days and when you came back or were doing Eugene, but just given that knowledge of Mr. Wrestling and just see guys like Shiloh, Truth Magnum, and where they are now, dude. Like, I'm sure that's a very gratifying and fulfilling feeling for you as a mentor. And I wanted you to know that it's not just if those of the guys who might not made it to that level. We all look at you with that level of respect, man, and the fact that you're Mr. OVW, really, along with Vaughn in a lot of ways. And it was always just a privilege and honor to get any knowledge from you, dude. So I see those guys, and I think we all hold our head a little higher knowing the fundamentals we got from you, Rip, Joey, Danny, Al, the whole nine, dude. So
appreciate it, good brother.
Yeah.
A toast to you.
Yeah, to you too. So I got to go back and sell more weed. You guys aren't allowed to have any here on the program.
You're on the wrong show, man.
But all my love to the good brothers out there, and happy birthday, dude. And I'm sure there's another guest that's more important than me. But Media, catch me on YouTube. We're doing some revamp of the channel stuff. I'll be back on with Rene or wherever you guys can find me. But if you need weed, you're in New York State, come to Ravens Joint, ravensjoint.com. I got you covered for all the good brothers. But happy birthday, pal.
Okay, I'll be looking for your friend request there, man.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, I'll send you one right over, buddy.
All right, brother.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, pal. Oh my.
I've got his cell.
I'm not going to the party. I'm not leaving the party. I'm not leaving the party.
Oh, you don't have to leave, man. Just sit with us. It's fine. Hey, I've got his cell phone number. I don't know if you do phone numbers, but I've got his cell I can send you.
I'll probably forget it or misdial it. Yeah, I'll lose my phone more than likely, and then get in the wrong hands, and then
okay. Just wait till he gets back on Facebook, then.
Yeah. No super chats. What's going on?
Yeah, wait. Hey, I mean, we're talking politics, man. These people are here to hear wrestling stories, not politics and global warming, man. Like, we do need some Eugene super chats, though. Come on, it's his birthday. He's going to do a shot of vodka every time you do super chats. So let's bring him in. Ask Eugene a question on his birthday.
We need 49 super chats minimum for his 49th birthday. Come on. I'm trying to think of any Eugene stories that hasn't already been told that I know of. Just remember that time, Nick, where there was a couple. The female was signed. She was a wrestler. She was blonde haired. She was really pretty, and she had her husband there. But like during the day, Wednesday was OVW TV, and during the day, like family and friend, they weren't allowed to be in the arena. But this female's husband was always there,
I
right?
think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and then I was, because I was raised on kayfabe with my dad, and Cornette one time called me a stupid motherfucker because I helped the baby faces set up the ring, and then I'm like, Nick, what's up with this dude over here? And you had a way of telling me what was up without telling me what was up. You're like, Cornette's friends with that little sniff with the eyes. Cornette's friends, Jimmy's friends.
Man,
Then,
I don't know. I don't want to spread rumors, but I mean, there were some people that were let in that probably, in any other circumstances, might not have been allowed in, but some were, and that's just the way life goes. And you know that for sure. You had to have seen that growing up in the business, that some people were allowed in that probably shouldn't have been because they were the friend of someone.
yeah, that's just the way the cookie crumbles, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Are you talking about me right now?
No, absolutely not. And these were good people. These are people I liked.
Oh yeah, no, very good people, very nice. But I just,
mean, when the line is drawn, people in the business, people not in the business, and these people come in, these people don't. Some people shouldn't have been allowed in, and some people were allowed in.
yeah,
But that's just the business. I mean, what 1987 when Linda went on and told everybody that it was just a work, so they didn't have to pay the taxes on the athletic commissions. We would
right,
let everybody know it's a work.
right, yeah, that's true. But by then, remember Duggan and Sheik? I got busted on the was it the Turnpike, New Jersey Turnpike? They were in the angle together.
Yeah,
It wasn't so much that they got caught with like weed and coke. It was the fact that they were feuding in an angle. That's what pissed everybody.
Duggan used to tell me the story, and he said Vince called him. He goes, "Jim, what have you done to us?
Right.
What have you done to us?" And he fired him after that. And it was the same time that in Glens Falls, New York, it was Jim Duggan Day. And he calls his wife and he goes, "I don't think," he got arrested. He calls her and goes, "I don't think anybody knows." She goes, "No, Jim, everybody knows."
Oh, wow. That's pretty, yeah. That's bad.
Because that was like right after WrestleMania 3 when he made the big save on the match and the flag. And he was the number 2 babyface behind Hogan at the time, and just Sheik needed a ride, and you give one of the boys a ride, and they were drinking beer because Duggan was from Louisiana, and legally back then you could drink and drive. You
really?
could drink. That's the way he calls it. Like in Louisiana, you could drink a beer and drive. I don't know. That's not. I don't know if that's the truth, but that's what he had said.
Okay.
And then Sheik might or might not have had a little bit of blow on him, but I mean that's what happened.
Could have been the blow.
If you go back and watch WrestleMania 3, right? Duggan makes the save with the 2x4, and Jesse Ventura is on the commentary, and Duggan has this big snot hanging from his nose, and fucking Jesse just goes, "Oh, look at that snot! That's disgusting! Look at that!" Yeah, go back and watch. It's funny.
That does happen to us every now and then. You don't want it to happen, but sometimes it does. That happened on the Austin 316 promo. Yeah. Nobody ever points that out. He had a big booger right there.
Really?
Yeah.
On the original promo?
On the King of the Ring.
When he's with Michael Hayes.
He said, "I just whooped your ass."
Really? I have to go and watch that again. Oh, Jesse Ventura made his comeback at Saturday Night's Main Event, dude. Did you watch it?
I didn't watch it, but here's my question. If Jesse was pushing for a union back at WrestleMania 2, is he still pushing for the union now?
Depends how big his Legends deal is, I guess.
Right? How does one get one of those Legends deals anyway?
Don't do anything that I've done. That's for sure. I don't know. I guess you got to be a good boy, stay quiet, and not make a peep, and be successful at something other than wrestling. You remember? He was in OVW. He was Umaga's manager.
Alejandro.
Armando.
Yes.
Has.
Yeah,
He got
he got a Legends deal.
Well, I mean, he's gonna manage the next fucking Samoan.
Is he?
I don't know, but I mean, it makes sense,
But
right?
he was so dude. That line he had, "My name is blah, 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 blah," that was over as a month.
Armando Alejandro
Alejandro,
Estrada.
yes,
well, he
that
did that in
was so.
OVW.
Yeah,
Yeah, who
I
trained that guy? Who trained that
dude,
guy?
I remember I was like out with the hernia surgery, and Al was the coach at that point. And I remember seeing him cut a promo. I went right up to Al, like, was this guy signed? And Al was like, I'm trying. I knew right away that guy was money, just the way he was talking, his
So
facial expressions.
he would drive down to OVW every Saturday. He lived in Chicago, and I started training him in OVW with guys like JTG and Johnny Jeter and Mark Magnus, who became Muhammad Hassan, and Chris
Yeah,
Cage, who became Kraylin Croft, and he was just one of them, and he became one of the guys that got signed. Nobody ever knew that he was that he was like ripped. He was like really in shape because he always had that suit on.
right. Yeah, but he was overly prepared. Be prepared for everything, right? As the
Yeah.
Ripper would say. Yeah, he was. Yeah, and then I think he was successful out of wrestling. I think he opened up a restaurant or something in Phoenix, or
He did for a bit, but then I think he got re-signed for a while that nobody really knew about.
oh,
And I think he realized he wasn't going to get used, and he got a job at the same time. And like I believe that's what he's done so far. But yeah, he's been very successful, very smart guy.
I
yeah,
think the story was he was one of those guys that got a paycheck for like a year.
Exactly.
But I don't know that he got rehired. I think they just never quit paying him until they figured out he was still on the payroll.
I don't remember what it was.
that reminds me what you said there, Von Lilas. It's like, you guys remember Steve Bradley?
Yeah, absolutely.
Steve Bradley, great worker, man. He could do anything. They sent him down to Puerto Rico. He was there for like 9 months or a year, and he calls up Bruce Pritchard, and like Bruce forgot that they were down. He was down there.
Yeah.
They were paying him. They forgot. Oh, you're still down there? Like, wow, gee, thanks. Out of sight, out of mind, right?
They brought him to Memphis after that, and that's when Cornette went down to start booking Memphis, and he brought myself, he brought Damage down to Memphis to work there, and I wrestled Steve Bradley on Memphis TV, and then I don't know why he got released. He was under developmental for over 10 years, and he got released, and unfortunately, I think he died of a heroin overdose.
He did, in the parking lot of
Yeah.
where his training center was.
Yeah.
Because he was from the Northeast, right? Like the Massachusetts area, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember because we got on the road and we went and visited him, and he had like a little training center. It kind of reminded me of what Les Thatcher had in Cincinnati, something similar to that. And always a positive guy, always a really nice guy, great worker. And then I remember hearing about that. Yeah, and he died in his car from a heroin overdose.
That sucks. I mean, I don't understand why he couldn't have been in on like the Mean Street Posse. He would have. I mean, he could have done anything. They could have put any gimmick on him, and he would have succeeded.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was just something where I think the Attitude Era was taken off, and everybody on TV was doing well. So there was no thought in who should we start building next.
Yeah, I personally think how important cosmetics were at that point in time, because there was only one company, and dude, it was so much pressure on your look back then. That was the only thing that I could see personally that Steve was lacking for the higher ups in administration to call him up. That was the only thing, because the work was there, the promo was there. It was just the fact that he didn't look like a shredded bodybuilder with a six-pack, because that's how I'm telling the truth. That's how much peer pressure there was with your physique back then. Because
he didn't look bad though.
Yeah,
he looked like an athlete. He looked like he could kick your ass. He looked like a bouncer or a football player. He looked like an athlete. They worked out, but there was so much pressure to be ripped and shredded and all that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Could be. The world may never know.
Well,
it's not going to.
He wasn't 6'10", 300 pounds.
True.
You know what I mean? And he wasn't, like the Dicks. I mean, even the Dicks, they were short, but they had bodybuilding physiques.
Yeah. Short dicks.
right?
Hey,
Speaking
come
of
on now, short dicks.
speaking of short
Holy
dicks,
shit!
Hey, am I on?
Holy shit!
is this
What's
thing on?
up?
Hitman.
Yo, Nick,
Come on, dude.
happy birthday, man.
Thank you, good brother. Thank you.
Yeah. Great to see you, man.
Got kids crying in the background.
Yeah. You can hear them.
The legendary Chris Cage, you were just talked about on this show just about 10 minutes ago.
Is that right? Yeah.
I had to put you over.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Here, let's say hi to this guy. Actually, let me get the missus. Hey, Rach, can you get Otis?
Bring them all on, man. Just put them all on here.
Put them all on TV.
Nick's mom was on. Nick's mom was on
My
at the
mom
beginning.
just-
Brought in a cake and everything.
How many kids you
how
got,
mom and dad
Chris?
More good.
You're very good. Thank you.
Yeah, excellent.
Chris, how many kids
Yo.
you got?
What's that?
How many kids you have?
Just one.
Just one? Okay.
Yeah, I just sensed the steel man. He'd say, "One's enough." Right?
One and done. One and done.
Yeah.
You're gonna get yourself snipped.
They say, "Yeah." He's like, "Remember, you know, man, you talking about
Oh, hello.
Oh, hi.
and
Hello.
Oh.
Sorry, I look so bad. Come on.
Mama's gonna give it to you. You're all right."
The pleasures
man.
of fatherhood.
That's right.
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat just said, I have no idea who any of these people are.
That's okay. Neither do we.
Yeah. Yeah. What'd you tune in for?
Yeah.
So let me tell you about Chris Pavone, Chris Cage. He used to drive from Youngstown, Ohio to Louisville, Kentucky every weekend to train in my class. And the girlfriend I had at the time goes, "Hey, you can just sleep on Nick's couch." And I was like, "Thank you, honey. I don't even know this guy." But it turned out he was a phenomenal guy. He slept on my couch every weekend. He would come to the shows. He would drive us to the shows. And he ended up getting signed by WWE. He was on SmackDown as Kraylin Croft, a WWE Superstar. Here's to you, my friend.
Yeah, Nick, thank you, man. And dude, I think about that a lot because, like, I mean, you helping me out like that. I mean, ultimately, that what led to me getting to WWE and really, you know, I sometimes lose sight of this fact. Getting re-signed with WWE completely changed my life because that brought me to Tampa in FCW, and then when I left, I stayed here, met my wife here. You know, I got a new career here as a school teacher, but you know, getting hired as a school teacher with zero experience, the WWE thing definitely opened that door because, you know, people think that's neat and interesting and you know, a bunch of other things that, you know, that opens doors for that. So think about you a lot, man. I you know, appreciate that. And you're the guy that, you know, we remember how we're taught. You know, you taught me, you know, the first guy I locked up with it, how to run the ropes and the very basics of psychology. So yeah, I appreciate all that, man.
So this guy in his first 5 matches wrestled Eugene, Mr. Perfect, and Beautiful Bobby Eaton. 3 of his first 5 matches.
That's right, man.
Dude, I've seen the Mr. Perfect match. It lasted like 15 seconds, right?
No, we went about 6-7 minutes. But Rene, I remember. I was just thinking about that. I remember showing you that. That's funny.
Yeah. Oh, you guys went that long? I thought he was like, fuck this. I'm just doing pow, 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 boom, 1, 2, 3, get out.
No, but looking back. Oh, and by the way, there's a John Cena in there, I'm sure, in the first like 6-7 matches.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Put that in there too. Yeah.
Wow.
I remember he was so cool, man. Henning, he sat with me the whole time in the locker room. Yeah, I'm like 4 months in. And I remember him telling me his Mr. Perfect vignettes were all one take. I was like, no shit. Wow. Yeah. And Nick, I remember telling you that. You're like, yeah, 'cause you're a fucking mark.
Who was the guy that beat you with the top wrist lock? What was his name?
With the what?
Top wrist lock. Was that you or was that Magnus?
Oh, that might have been Magnus, but Booker in my first match gave me a fuck. Remember, he gave me a bill, and I was, you know, I'm like 4 weeks in. He goes, "Stay down, stay down." Me and Timberwolf were supposed to go over, and Booker pinned me 1, 2, 3. And Cornette, I remember on the commentary, goes, "I've never seen someone beat with a flying bill before, but nonetheless."
Well, I was in the back. I gave them the go home cue, which meant they had 2 minutes, and they went home in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, yeah. Booker took advantage of me, man. That's my. Yeah.
Good times, good times.
Think you better than that, man.
No.
Well, my ego's kind of deflated because that asshole said he didn't recognize anybody on this this show. So yeah. Chris, it was good to see you again, man.
Rene, great to see you, man. And don't worry about that, dude. Because something I think about with that is like social media, really didn't exist. Well, it didn't, for a large part of our careers, and it's obviously, around big time today. But people just talk shit on there.
Yeah.
It's
yeah. I gotta avoid the comments. But Nick, are you there? Can you see me?
Yeah, brother. Love you, brother.
Okay. I love you too, man. Happy birthday. You don't look a day over 48. And Vaughn Lilas, keep in touch. Tell Rip I love him too. And I'll see you guys down the road, okay?
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping in, Renee. Appreciate it.
All right, boys. Have a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, you too,
man.
Bye-bye.
That's awesome.
Hanging and banging, thugging and bugging.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for coming in, man.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for the invite, man.
You said you had a play tonight or something, right? Kids
it's right
play.
across. It's a thing. It's a thing for our kids. He goes to it's preschool actually. It's right across the street from us, so we got some time.
That's good.
Awesome,
Yeah.
man. You look happy. You look well. You look good, brother.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, thank you.
You still got all your hair.
Yeah, no shit.
We should talk about that. It's thinned a little in some areas, but I'm on top of it.
I think you should grow it back out personally, but that's just me.
Yeah.
So I gave him the nickname the Hitman because A, I couldn't remember anybody's name, and B, I thought he resembled Bret the Hitman Hart when I first met him. So that was his nickname for like years.
Yeah, dude. And I remember. I took it as a compliment. I remember it was my second day there, and you said you look like Bret Hart, and then of course then the name stuck, and so it's funny because over the years, depending on how what somebody called me, that's at that point in my career they knew me. So it was either Hitman if it was like way back, Cage, or Croft was the latest one. But yeah, if someone called me Hitman, that was from back in the day. Yeah.
To give people some insight, when OVW transitioned from being in a building in Jeffersonville to Louisville, the operation moved to Louisville, but Danny Davis still held the lease on the building in Southern Indiana. So I would run the beginners class. Anybody wanting to get into OVW to eventually get signed would come to my class first. And this is where I would train all the guys. And there was at times 50 guys on a 2-hour class on a Saturday. And they got very little ring time. So the guys I saw with talent, I would say, hey, either come in early or let's hang late or come to the show. And I would give them a little extra time because I saw that, that they had a possibility of being a good wrestler. Not that I thought that they would ever get signed, but just that I thought that they could have been a good wrestler. And Chris Pavone was definitely one of them.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm really proud of that. I've given some motivational talks and stuff, and I would always tell that my story, and that was super cool too because I remember no one had ever done that before, and then part of it was no disrespect men or anything, but I remember my first time there, I was like, dude, I think I'm one of there may be one other guy that like works out consistently.
Yeah.
Remember like a lot of the guys that were showing up were kind of just whatever. So I think that probably made me stand out a little bit, and then I think you probably saw it some natural ability a little bit, and but man, no, I think about that a lot, man, and I really appreciate that. So I always wanted to tell you that. I know I told you that over the years, but it's cool looking back, talk about that now, and I remember when I'd stay with you, we just watched tape, and I remember one of the first times it clicked. It was a match with Johnny Spade and Conway from OVW TV, and Conway locked up, took Spade's arm, twisted it, and Spade punched Conway, and Conway shook it off, twisted it again, and Spade punched, and then Conway gave it back. And you said, see, babyface wants to wrestle, heel wants to fight, until the babyface is provoked, then then he gives it back. And
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I mean, the guys in that class were great, and I love all of them. Joe Dirt was awesome, but
oh man, yeah.
But you're absolutely holy shit! Boom! Mind exploded!
Wow!
Jesus Christ!
How about that?
Wow. Happy birthday, you old bastard.
Well, thank you. So many people have asked me, will Danny do a podcast? I'm like, no, I don't think he does them. He doesn't do them. Unless it's Austin, he doesn't do them.
Well, or Von Lilas, you know.
Or Lilas, apparently. Thank you for coming on, Danny Davis.
Hey,
The
Clint,
Nightmare Danny Davis, the legend.
Von Lilas is the one that he sent me an invite, and you know, although I don't do this stuff because I'm not tech savvy anymore, I am a dummy. Trust me, I am a dummy. So, but there's no way I wasn't going to at least hop in and say happy birthday, Nick. Hi, Chris.
Thank you very much. I'm
Danny.
so honored.
Oh man, so good to see you.
The Nightmare Danny Davis, baby.
Yeah.
All the top stars on YouTube
Clint,
behind the
thank
scenes.
you for for inviting me. That's pretty. Yes, it's pretty awesome. Hey, Nick, I don't remember exactly what year it was that you came to 1106 Watt Street in Jeffersonville, Indiana, but that was the first place. Was it 96? Wow.
I think
I know that you're
show in 95.
I know that your mom had a lot of questions about getting in this business, and I told her everything she needed to know. Anyhow, you know, you were a very positive influence on me, Nick. You really were, as you too, Chris. But it's not your birthday, and definitely you, Von Lilas. But it's not neither of you guys' birthday. Nick, you were a positive guy, and I want to say to you first, I'm very thankful that you have been part of my life. I'm very, very thankful for that. I couldn't have had a, I guess, better bastard of a son. And I don't mean that in any negative connotation, but, I hope I treated you and pretty much all the guys like a son. So anyway, happy birthday to you. And Von Lilas, man, hey, I hold a special place in my heart for you, just simply because, maybe because you're from Seymour and the girl I married was from Seymour, but the fact that you are who you are, and, I admired you, admired your dad, your whole family, by the way. And Chris Pavone, I didn't know your dad, didn't know your family, but I knew you, and I still know you. And you are definitely a positive influence, as many of you guys are. You've all done well for yourselves, and I'm very, very thankful for that. Very thankful for that. So anyhow, I'll let you carry on. I don't want to interrupt anything, but happy birthday, Nick, and I hope I can say happy birthday to you many, 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 many more times. And yes, I'll do podcast if anybody wants to. Possibly, I don't know what I have to offer, but I'll be happy to. You may not like any of the answers, but I'll be happy to do what I can do.
Thank you so much. Awesome. This is like the greatest birthday ever. Thank you so much.
You're the man, Danny.
Chris,
thanks for
good seeing you.
on.
Bye. Hey, if there's anybody else out there, hello. Sorry I missed you, but it's time for me to go bye-bye.
Yeah.
Thank you, Danny.
Great to see you.
Nightmare Danny Davis.
I love you guys.
Love you, Danny.
I don't know how to sign out of this thing.
Right. You're stuck with us.
I'll click
And
the button.
to think, I used to edit television shows. What the hell happened?
I'll help you out.
Oh my God. Awesome birthday.
Yeah.
Tribute to Danny Davis, the man.
I told you I had nothing prepared, Nick.
Are you a lying motherfucker?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have anything prepared. If nobody showed up, we were screwed.
That's all right.
That's awesome. Now everybody's gonna be contacting me. Get Danny for a podcast. And my sister's telling me to quit rocking back and forth, but I'm so excited. That's just what happens.
Right.
Got to get closer to the camera every once in a while too.
No, man, it's just so exciting. I got friends coming by. I've got mentors coming by. This is an awesome birthday.
Well, I'm glad we could do it. There's still a couple more people that might hop on. We'll see what happens.
So just for everybody's recollection, I started wrestling in 1996. I walked into the Nightmare Danny Davis School of Professional Wrestling and said I wanted to sign up for wrestling. And I started in, I think, May of 96. I had my first match in September 1st of 1996 against the most handsome man in wrestling, Jason Lee. And the rest, I guess, is history.
Yeah.
There you go. When did you come, Cage?
So I came down in I remember May of 2001, and it was interesting too because I tried for like it was 3 years. I tried to find a training school that would fit with my job in my school. I was in college. That was the deal with my parents. Was you going to stay in school? We'll be supportive. I couldn't find anything that was I knew enough about the business to know it had to be a reputable place. And then I finally heard about OVW, and I drove down and checked it out. I heard about the beginners class, and Jack Black was there when I came down to visit. Nick, because you were at SmackDown. You did that bit with you and Ray Steele and someone else where Benoit came down and threw you guys out of the ring. Remember that? Yeah. And so then it was like 2 weeks later I signed up. That was like May of 2001. And then Nick, you got me and Static D booked at HWA like in August. That was like my third match. And that I remember that was super cool because I knew Les Thatcher was and HWA and all that. And it was a WCW ring, which I thought was cool. Yeah. And and then you and I worked on one of their Tuesday night tapings, and that was a big thing that clicked for me early on. You remember I was the heel. I said, "What are we gonna do?" And you said, "We're gonna call in the ring." I was like, "Right, but what are we gonna do?"
Yeah, I lock up. I put myself in the corner. I said, "Get on me," and he lays on me,
and I did. I thought you meant like, ref's gonna get in there to break us up like a heel. I did it like 3 times. You said, "No, I want you to stay on me." I was like, "Oh, okay."
I want you to punch me. I want you to kick me. I want you to beat the shit out of me.
Right. Dude, that's funny, man. Your memory is good because I remember that stuff because it was, me, but that's like my third match. And
I don't remember the match. I remember you telling me the story afterwards. That's when I remember.
Yeah.
Where was it? Where was it for HWA?
It was a Tuesday night taping, or it might not have been a TV taping. I think it was a house show. But I remember it was a Tuesday night in Cincinnati, and it was leading into the Pillman show because I still remember the finish was race. Was it Ace or Ray Steele?
Ray Steele, yeah. Ray Steele was the HWA champion.
That's right. Okay, yeah. He came down. You guys were building up to your match at the Pillman Memorial, and he was involved in the finish. And then you gave me a German. It was 1, 2, 3.
And then Ray Steele and I went into the Pillman Memorial. I won the HWA title, and we got voted the worst match on the card.
Really?
Yeah.
How could that even be possible, though? Maybe they thought it was. I don't know.
No, I think so because I think we were trying to get our shit in, and we weren't listening to the crowd and working the crowd like every other match did. We should have went out there and called it in the ring and worked the crowd as opposed to trying to get all of our cool stuff in that we saw in videos. That's what we were trying to do.
Yeah, sure.
Nick, do you remember when we had the babyface match at I think it was the Public School 89 or whatever it was called. And then
109?
109. I was getting back in the ring and I was coming through the ropes and you kicked the ropes and crushed me and then just turned total heel on me. I was
very babyface match. Very babyface.
I thought I was in trouble. I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
Kind of reminded me when you were saying that stuff, get on me. I messed something up and I can't remember. And then when I was coming back in, you just totally turned on me. I was like, shit.
The thing is, when I used to wrestle Rip, that'd be the same thing. He would say something that I misinterpreted, and then I would be like, he would get on me in a working fashion. He wouldn't hurt me, and I'd be coming back so afraid, like, oh my God, I messed something up.
Yeah. Man, did Rip get a chance to come on here? Was he available?
He's at work. Well, it's a surprise. I can't ruin the surprise. No, he sent a video, but he's working right now, so he couldn't come on.
Well, if you send a video, go ahead and play it. You've already ruined the surprise.
Well, I gotta get it. All right, you guys gotta talk about something then.
All right, let's talk about
Maybe somebody will give us a super chat in the
maybe
chat
someone
there.
will. I can take a shot of vodka, but would we realize that yesterday was the 39th anniversary of the Paul Castellano shooting in New York?
No, I was not aware of that.
Well, Paul Castellano was the head of the Gambino crime family. No, yeah, Gambino crime family. And he was slain in front of a steakhouse yesterday, 39 years ago. Monumental night.
Oh, I think I've seen a Netflix documentary on that. That sounds familiar now that you mentioned it.
I'm watching local. I'm watching news and like mafia folklore, and that's what I enjoy.
Yeah, nice.
Mm.
Yeah, I do a lot of World War II history reading, which is kind of this is interesting how stuff changes, right? There's some of my books here.
What are the posters? Show the posters on the wall.
Yeah, I just got old movie posters in here.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah, thanks. Nick, are you in St. Pete Beach still?
I'm in St. Pete Beach, brother. We are not too far away.
Dude, not at all,
Banging
man.
and banging, thugging and bugging.
Yeah, we'll have to get together. Was your place okay from the hurricanes?
Man, I was in Europe and I was a little worried because my mom didn't say if it was okay or not, and I thought I was gonna come home and my car was gonna be gone, but there was no damage here, so it was perfect.
Oh, nice, man. Good. Yeah, that sucks, man. That's I mean, it's not all you can do is prepare, and then when those things are coming at us, yeah. Oh, here we go.
There we go. Volume, going loud, volume.
Shit.
Good Lord. We are a world-class production company.
So you can't hear it?
No, you can hear it?
No, man, nobody can hear it. But Brother Sam muted in the chat, man. We are just waiting on we were waiting on bated breath for Rip's words.
I can hear it in my headphones just perfect.
You got something? Can you tell us what he says at least?
He said first he said Merry Christmas, and then he said, wait, I mean happy birthday. I can't believe you can't hear that.
No, man, nobody can hear. No audio, muted. It's leaving right. That's all I see.
I'll tell you what, man. Lila Studios is top notch. That is one thing I can say about Lila Studios.
You do run a great program, man.
Edge, brother.
Thanks, man.
No, you run awesome. Nick, your YouTube channel is really entertaining. I've watched several of them, and then Clint, I know Nick told me you produce all those, so that's pretty cool.
Do my best. I mean, Nick's tough to work with, man. I mean, you know how he is.
I mean, I'm a temperamental artist that only wants to talk about my benefits and not my flaws.
All right, hold on. We got breaking news here. Maybe this will be better for you, Nick. We got $100 super chat right here, Nick. Tap out corner.
Son of a gun! I need to show my butthole, I guess.
Says happy birthday, Nick. Thanks for bringing wrestling to Sioux Falls and letting me live my dream. Z. You know, you remember?
I can't exactly see who it is, but I think I know who it is.
Z.
And I truly appreciate it. Here's a shot.
There we go. Thank you, Tap Out Corner. Z. Appreciate that.
Man, in 2015, I moved to Sioux Falls, and I assumed there was independent pro wrestling in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And I'd heard that there was no independent wrestling in Sioux Falls. I'm like, I don't believe it. There's got to be somebody running there. And there was nobody running there. The nearest company was 3 hours south in Omaha. So I started a pro wrestling company. And it was really the community's company. And the people really supported it. And the wrestling fans really supported it. And the news supported it. And the charity supported it because we get back to the community. And it was an awesome time in my life. And I reflect back on Midwest All Pro Wrestling as a phenomenal experience. And although I sold the company to a group of guys that are now taking it to the next level, that like it was a great experience in my life.
That's awesome, man. Hey, Cage, I know you might have to go at some point in time, so don't be scared just to give us the Iggy whenever you have to go, man.
Yeah, no problem. I was just gonna say, yeah, I need to hop off, but
Yeah.
just wanted to say, yeah, man, Clint, thanks for the invite, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Nick,
dude.
appreciate you, buddy. Happy birthday, love you, man. Thanks for
Thank
letting
you,
me
brother.
stay under. Yeah,
See
thanks for
you
letting me stay under
soon.
couch,
Take care.
man. It changed the trajectory of my life ultimately. So that's yeah, legit. So yeah,
Chris Cage,
appreciate you,
everybody.
man. Yeah.
Caitlin Croft.
All right.
Chris
See you
Pavone,
guys.
whatever
Happy
you want to
birthday,
call
man.
him. Thanks
Yeah.
for coming on, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm like, Dan, how do I get out? Oh, I see, just leave. Yeah, see you guys. Happy birthday,
See you,
Nick.
Thank you. And here we go. All right.
Hey, look at that though. We got another super chat though here. Jonathan Darwin, baby, $9.99 super chat. Happy birthday, Nick. Would you mind telling me your account about the Nunchucks incident with the announcer at Mountain State Wrestling in Princeton, West Virginia? I used to announce for MSW, but was on hiatus then. Any of that ring a bell, Nick?
Absolutely. So,
all right, go for it.
It was an NWA heavyweight title match between the champion Scrap Iron Adam Pearce against the Maestro, also known as Gorgeous George III. And Pearce was the heel, and he rolled out, and I believe he went over to the announcer and was cutting a heel promo in front of the crowd and the challenger, and he pushed the announcer a little bit to where the announcer got a little upset and might have came back on him or something, but ended up walking out of the building. So Pearce gets back in the ring to continue the match, and all of a sudden the announcer comes back in with nunchucks. I'm talking serious, like, and he was going, "What's up now? What's up now?" And I remember Pearce looks up to the balcony where all the wrestlers were sitting watching the match, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. And the announcer's like, he was upset because Pearce pushed him a little bit, but the announcer was the in-between guy, and Pearce was the heel. I mean, this was character stuff. And he came in with the nunchucks, and I don't remember how it resolved, but it got a little tense for a second. And I remember Pearce just sat in the ring like, if you're going to get in the ring, I'm going to attack you. And the announcer never got in the ring, and he eventually left. But there was some tension that night, and that was probably the second realest moment in professional wrestling that I've ever experienced. The first being John Cena wrestling RVD in the Hammerstein Ballroom at the ECW One Night Stand number 2, second night stand. Hopefully that answers your question, my good friend, Jonathan Darwin.
Awesome. Good answer. Hey, I don't really remember the Cena RVD. What happened there?
Well, that's when RVD won the Money in the Bank, and he challenged at the One Night Stand, which was in Hammerstein Ballroom. And that's where the people had the sign that says, "If Cena wins, we riot." And the tension in the room that night, I think the New York fans, the ECW fans, wanted to see Cena win so they could riot. I think these people wanted to have some frustration let out that they were going to riot that night. And when RVD won, they were like, yes. Like they were excited, but it was almost a letdown because they didn't get to riot. And I was right next to the curtain that night because Cena's a friend of mine. And if all hell broke loose, I was going to hit the ring regardless whether I was supposed to or not, just to save my buddy. But it never happened because the ECW fans were placated, or whatever the word is to say they got what they wanted, but they didn't really get what they wanted.
Got it. Thank you, Jonathan Darwin. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
We got a super sticker. Hey, Thomas, if you have a question, you can put it in the chat. Sometimes the question doesn't go with it. If you got a question, put it in the chat. Thomas, thanks for the $2 though, bud. If you got a question, put it in there.
Thank you.
People want to know who's all invited to this thing. Want to know if Uncle Eric's going to be on, Triple H, John Cena. People are asking all kinds of who. Coach, is Coach invited into this thing? Who knows, man? I tell you what, got to stick around a little while longer and see. A couple other people might show up. I'm a little disappointed the Rip Rogers video didn't play though.
Well, you know, it's always a little awkward with the Rip. I mean, he always is a little bit off from normal. He's the guy outside the box, and you could only imagine that if his video is recorded and played, that it would be the one that it wouldn't be fully functional.
Kills me. How about Danny Davis showing up, man?
That blew my mind. Thank you, Von Lillis. That was awesome. That was really awesome. I texted him the other day just to check in with him, and it was really awesome that he checked in, man. Man, I hope everybody in the chat has subscribed to our channel, because we got some mind-blowing events that we're gonna unfold in the next couple weeks.
That's right. If you are on here, if you just stumbled across, you saw YouTube Live and haven't subscribed, go subscribe. And if you have subscribed or whatever, go watch some of the videos, man. Last, I don't know, 3 or 4 videos have been really solid. This last one, you know, Nick here talks about the Eugene character in depth. And, you know, was it controversial? Was it offensive? We've got a bunch of feedback on that. So go check those videos out. Make sure you comment on them, like them, share them, anything you can do to help this channel blow up. But in the meantime, we got a couple more questions rolling in here. Vinny Mac says, happy birthday, Nick. Did you ever hang out with Eddie Guerrero?
And for all the super chats, I'll take a sip
There we go.
of the sacrament. Did I ever hang out with Eddie Guerrero? I was around him in the locker room in a couple of he was on SmackDown, I was on Raw, so there were a couple of shows where it was a joint locker room and I was around him. I shook his hand, I said hello, but I was never around him to an extent that I really got to know him. I was good friends with Joey Mercury, who was in M&M with what's his name?
Nitro.
Nitro,
Johnny
Nitro, M&M.
Mundo.
Nitro and Mercury. And they had all the tag team matches with Chavo and with Eddie. And he got to know him a lot better. And he looked up to Eddie, which all of us did. Unfortunately, I didn't get to know Eddie on that level. But he would tell me stories about Eddie that were just incredible. One was that Eddie would just listen to the crowd from the back. And Eddie could tell right away that if the crowd was a deep bass voice, by listening, that it was mainly men. And he could have a more fighting, more brawling match. But if it was a higher pitched match, that he knew it was families and kids, and he should have a more fun, comical match. And I never got to know Eddie on that level, but I wish I would have.
Nice. It's pretty wild. It's a good story. I met him one time, I think, like back in catering or whatever, and he was just very, very polite, but seemed very quiet. Was he quiet most of the time, or did he have like a group that he ran around with, or?
Man, I really don't know, because I didn't get to know him that well. From the videos I've watched, he was very soft-spoken, but the words he said were very, like, I don't know, meaningful.
Yeah. We got another super chat in here from Puke015. Happy birthday, Eugene. I have a question for you. How difficult was it to play an autistic character without being autistic yourself?
Well, Puke, I'm going to take another shot for you, and I might puke, but hopefully not. And the only thing we ever said about Eugene was that he was special. Eric Bischoff said, my nephew is special. So we let the people draw their own conclusion. And as far as the character goes, I tried to remember what it was like as a kid watching wrestling, or being excited about anything, or being, you know, observant of anything, and how that made me feel. And that was the emotion that I tried to portray or emote, if that's the word. And, you know, it wasn't so much autistic, because when I was a kid, we didn't have that word autistic. And now, what is it? 1 in 36 kids are autistic. I mean, it's much more prevalent now than I think it was when I was growing up. So I was just trying to portray a character that had the naivety of youthfulness and just viewed everything through the eyes of a child. Does that make sense?
Makes great sense. So we actually just recorded a bunch of stuff, you know, in regards to this, playing the character and the different mannerisms and your ring gear and how you walked, how you talked, your hair, everything else. So that'll be coming out on the channel probably 2 weeks, I think.
2 weeks. You got it. 2 weeks.
So if you guys not familiar, typically what we have been doing the last 4 weeks is putting out a video every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. So that's when the new content is dropped. every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. And we're going to try to start doing some more live stuff, right, Nick? I hope anyway.
I mean, if the people like it, we can keep doing it. Absolutely. I mean, if this is the people want. I mean, I'm looking on my chat right here, and I think it's Mean Mike out there. Mean Mike is out there telling me that we were in WCW together, and this was the guy that like let me in and like talked to me when I was the guy that was a nobody. Mean Mike and Tough Tom of Disorderly Conduct were two guys that were on the roster, and I was the guy just trying to break in, and he was the guy that was helping me out. So Mean Mike, I hear you, buddy. Thank you.
That's awesome. Now, were you in that light heavyweight tournament or whatever? I remember Jason Lee went and did it when Danny got pissed and wanted to like fire everybody from OVW because they went and did that WCW tournament or whatever. Do you remember that?
So what you're talking about is when Jason Lee went on WCW. He was an OVW guy, and him and Derek King were partners, and WWE would not sign them, but WWE would give OVW an allotment of money to pay these guys because they were wrestlers of OVW. So they were not under contract. And Jason Lee went on WCW TV because I think he got an in through Burt Prentice, I think. And he went on in the cruiserweight tournament. I think this is what you're talking about.
Yep.
And the very next Tuesday, which was not a TV taping, I dropped the OVW heavyweight title to Rico Constantino, which really hadn't happened at a live event, and there wasn't a lot of people there. So I was not privy to any of the WCW backstage politics or the WWE politics, and I was just kind of caught in between. And I got the OVW title taken off of me and put on Rico Constantino. Not that that wasn't warranted, but it was at a live event when there weren't a whole lot of people there. So I remember what you're talking about, and I was around at that time, and I knew the players involved, but I was not involved in any of the politics.
Got it. I was there. I guess, I don't know. I was relatively very new, I think, and I felt like I should not be in on this conversation when Danny got everybody together and chewing him out and threatened to fire everybody and all that kind of stuff. I was like, holy shit, do you need me to leave right now? I don't feel like I should be in here right now. So Puke said his name is not Puke, it's Puck.
My apologies, Puck.
015.
My true apologies, Puck.
No, I think it was my fault. I think I said Puke first, so I'll take the heat for that. Not a big deal. All right, man. We still got some people on here. We got some
No,
more.
hold on, wait. Give me more about this meeting. I don't remember this meeting.
The Danny got everybody around. I'm trying to think if Jason Lee. I don't think he was there because I think Danny had already kicked him out or whatever.
But he didn't stay out for too long, did he?
I don't think so. I think it was one of those where Danny came back, and I don't think he ever probably apologized, but changed his mind. And he just said, Danny said, WWF wasn't there though, right? They weren't. Was it It wasn't developmental at that time,
No,
right?
it was developmental. And
Oh,
Jason
that's
Lee
why
and Derek
then.
King were getting money, but they weren't directly getting money. They were getting money through OVW. And Jason Lee on his own went to WCW and got in that tournament.
That's
and I feel like I got connected because I had wrestled for WCW and I was friends with both these guys. I feel like I got connected, which I had nothing to do with it.
That's what it was. It was because Danny was, if I remember correctly, saying that they were going to mess up the entire developmental deal with WWE if they were going to go and wrestle for WCW. That's what he was pissed about. And said if anybody else was ever going to do that, they were never going to work at OVW again. They were fired. They would never get signed by WWF. And he was, how Danny gets.
Absolutely. He was getting excited. I mean, this was his business. This was his livelihood. Of course he was going to get excited.
Jonathan Darwin's back. $4.99 super chat. Great. Thank you, brother. I got to see some footage in Budget in Blast. Adam Pierce first. You got to say that name for me. Is it Jacques Mullere?
I don't know.
I was curious about your perspective. So, see some footage.
I apologize. I don't remember that specific match, but let's put it this way. Adam Pearce is probably one of the best wrestlers that the NWA has ever had as the NWA heavyweight champion. Although I would have liked to have faced him for the NWA heavyweight title. I would still like to face for the NWA heavyweight title. But I bet that was a great match. And although I don't remember the budget in Blast, I bet it was a fantastic match. Cheers to them.
Thank you, Jonathan Darwin. Appreciate that. All right, man. I was hoping we had a couple more pop in. It's still possible. We're gonna give it at least a few more minutes. We still got some people on here.
All right. I see somebody said Eugene did a great job at the Legends of Wrestling comedy show in Maryland. We can't wait to have him back. Now, I remember that event, and it was out of control from start to finish. I don't want to go into all the little different reasons why it was out of control, but I feel like I did a horrible presentation in my comedy. I don't want to say I do comedy shows. I don't want to make myself as a stand-up comedian, but I tell my story, and sometimes I try to be humorous because Eugene was a comedy character. But this event, I mean, I was swept off my feet, and this was a different event than I'd ever seen. I was in an environment that I definitely never seen, but absolutely, if I was ever asked back, I could do a much better comedy show because this event was out of control. And I mean, if we ever did an R-rated version of the show, I could tell you all the reasons why this was out of control.
Now, how many comedy shows have you done? Like, have you done like an actual full-on comedy show?
Well, I mean, I get up on stage. I've gotten up on stage and I've grabbed the mic maybe a dozen or more times, and I've told my story with my little jokes in between. So yes, I've done stand-up comedy, but I consider myself a sit-down comic on my way to stand-up.
So all those jokes that you tell, like when we're filming and you throw those jokes in, are those jokes that you've written yourself, you've just heard from somebody, you practiced them a lot? Where do all those jokes come from?
There's no practice, absolutely. And if you can look at Eugene's career, Eugene's moveset, Eugene's moves that he used, you could probably relate that I've stolen all the jokes that I've found to be the ones that I use today.
Now, when you were on Renee's show, he's got like a comic co-host, I guess. There's a lot of people in the chat wanting wrestling talk, but I was watching that show and you seemed real intrigued in the comedy side of things.
I mean, absolutely, because the comics are like, you can never reproduce what a comic has produced, ever. And in professional wrestling, you can use someone's finish. In music, you can have a tribute band. I mean, Elvis has got however many impersonators. Why is it that stand-up comedy are the guys that go, wait a minute, you can never tell the same joke over again? And my question was simply this: what if you give credit to that comic, but tell the same joke because it's a good joke, and we're there to entertain the fans, and we're there to make the fans laugh. And if the fans laugh, and then I go, hey, that was a Norm Macdonald joke, and then everybody goes, okay. I mean, why is that wrong?
I don't know. I don't know, man. Seems kind of wrong to me too, though. Kind of.
Why? Because
you didn't write.
Every other form of entertainment can have a tribute act, can have someone like reproducing it and say, hey, we were inspired by this particular performer and we want to do this. I mean, why is comedy so different? Are the comics so like butthurt that people want to use their stuff that they say, hey, you can never say our same joke because, oh my gosh, we're the best? I don't know what it is.
I think if you came out as a comic tribute act comic, then I guess it would be okay.
I'm coming out as Eugene telling stories about his career.
Yeah.
And I might tell jokes that are funny. And if I tell any jokes that are blatant ripoffs, I would absolutely credit the person that told them. Although my jokes might be stolen from other people that I've heard, they're not necessarily nationwide comics that people would say, oh my God. And these are jokes I've heard as a kid. You know what I mean? Jokes my dad told. Jokes that I've heard people told at the bar. I mean, these are just jokes.
Yeah, I was gonna say some of them maybe off the what was the old bubble gum bazooka?
Exactly. Yeah, Bazooka Joe, Bazooka Joe jokes.
That's more where I was thinking yours were coming from, but you know.
I saw one person just message in the chat that what is Eugene's best bench press? I think it was 345 pounds, I think, when I was 28 or 24. And I never wanted to go much more because it hurt my shoulders. And eventually I had shoulder surgery. So I can never bench press. I don't flat bench at all. I use dumbbells now. But someone asked what was my best bench press. It might have been 365, but I think it was 345 for whatever that's worth.
I would just stick with 365.
All right, it was 400 pounds. 400 pounds, brother.
400. What do you think the Iron Man Rob Conway's best bench press has been?
450, man. He's a muscular, without a doubt. He's always been a heavy bencher and a heavy squatter.
Did you guys ever work out together?
Absolutely, man. We used to travel the road together. We'd work out together. Me, him, and Cena just set after set, like burning it out, burn up the quads, burn up the pecs, burn up the shoulders, burn up the lats. I mean, just hanging and banging, thugging and bugging.
Do you remember the time you bought a box of donuts and just took them around with you to wrestling shows and wouldn't eat them like during the show? Like you were trying to have self. Do you remember that?
I mean, it sounds like something I would do, but no, I don't remember.
You had a box of donuts in the locker room one night, and you were trying to have what's the word on self-control and not eat any of them. So you just bought them and sat them there.
Hold on, was this OVW or was this after?
This was early OVW before you went up.
Okay. So let's spread some truth here. Early OVW, Kenny Bolin allegedly was dating a woman that worked at the Hostess factory, and any of the Hostess cakes and products that they would put out, if they were one day over expiration, they couldn't sell them, so they would put them in a box, and she would grab some. Bolin would put them in his car and say, "Hey guys, if anybody wants any donuts or pastries or ho-hos or ding-dongs or whatever they are, they're here." And I would take the whole box because at the time I didn't have a job and I was not homeless, but almost homeless. And I would just eat all those. So there might have been a point where I was getting paid, but I was still stealing Kenny Bolin's Hostess cupcakes and trying to pawn them off to everybody else.
Good story. Can't believe Kenny Bolin would ever just not eat them all anyway.
I mean, I don't know. He was trying to influence like all the WWE contract guys, but I would quickly snatch them from his car and put them in my car and lock it so that no one knew that I could get all the ding dongs and ho hos and snowballs and whatever else there were.
So did you did you watch Saturday nights? You said you didn't watch Saturday night's main event, right?
No, man, I missed it, man. I didn't tune in.
No. Have you seen the Outrunners wrestle at all?
Absolutely, man. I trained. I didn't want to say I trained. Northwest Buddy Wayne trained on a Shiloh mount who is now, what's his name on there?
Truth Magnum
on there. But for his first couple of years, he would come to my class every day because I wanted him to show them the moves with the guys and take the bumps that I didn't want to take. But, you know, in that he learned a lot. And without a doubt, these guys, I called these guys into Midwest All Pro Wrestling in Sioux Falls, and they came in and had one of the best tag matches I've ever seen. These guys, without a doubt, are worthy of being AEW superstars, are worthy of being WWE superstars, and should be known around the world if they're not already.
They were just AEW, the TV show on Wednesday, Dynamite. They were just in Indianapolis. Well, Fisher's, right 10 minutes from my house. So Turbo Floyd got hooked us up. I took the girls to watch him. So it was really cool. They did the first or the dark match right before TV. Oh, they were just so over, man. I mean, that place just went nuts for them. Their match was awesome. Crowd loved them. It was just so awesome to see. So I wrestled him my last match that I've wrestled at a pizza place in Seymour, outdoor show. Rip was my manager, and he never even came out like with me, really. He got on the stage and made everybody sing his son happy birthday. And his son was in California. We're in Seymour, Indiana. Everybody's singing his son happy birthday as Rip's sitting there filming him. And then he just goes back he doesn't even come back out. Like, he doesn't go to the ring or anything. My manager in Seymour. But so all my family got to come, and my kids. It's the only time my kids have ever seen me wrestle live. But it was against the Outrunners. So they were trying to tell me, this group wanted me to wrestle these. I said, no, let's bring in the Outrunners. Like, pay them a little money, bring in the Outrunners. It'll definitely be worth it. So that was a couple years ago before they really started getting famous, So much fun though, man. God, it was so much fun.
Without a doubt, these guys deserve the fame that they're getting. When I watched them in Mitchell, South Dakota at Big Dummy's Bar and Grill wrestling, I'm like, man, these guys are a step ahead of everybody else in the independent business, and they deserve to be on the top.
Agree. So what's the plan, man? You think you got a date? You like Tuesday nights? I mean, what do you think about lives? Once a week, once a month, twice a month, every week? What are you thinking, man?
I think we need to ask the fans. I mean, how often are they going to be able to sit through Eugene being here, having to pee, like talking to everybody? Once a month, twice a month? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. You guys put that in the comments, man. Put it in the comments. If the night time's the best, what time's the best, what day's the best. We got to figure out when Renee's show is. We don't want to go right up against Renee's show every night. I think his is. Weren't you on a Monday?
I don't remember. I was on it, but I don't remember.
Have to check out and see what his is, but I don't know, man. I think it's about time to shut this thing down, I would say.
Absolutely. I'm having to pee. But I love everybody for logging on. I mean, it's been a phenomenal birthday. Thank you, Von Miles, for inviting all my friends, and especially Danny Davis. Oh, my God, that blew my mind.
Yeah, let's get back to Super Chat real quick. I'll run through the Super Chatters tonight. Brenda Mania, a couple of them. Tap Out Corner with a huge one. Big 100 spot there. Z, Tap Out Corner. Jonathan Darwin came through a couple different times. Puck, not Puke. Puck. 015, not Puke. Vinny Mac in the house. Thomas Weeby and Jonathan Darwin again, man. Thanks for all the love and support with the Super Chats tonight on Eugene's birthday. Happy 49th birthday, Eugene Nick Dinsmore.
Thank you so much. I see my girl there. Angharad, my girl Annie. Happy birthday. Great show tonight. I see her. Thank you so much. To all my friends and fans out there, good night.
And then the song we always ended on every single time. All right, thanks everybody for tuning in. See you next time on Eugene Behind the Scenes.